Today's lesson is Okinawa in the off-season. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Mike.
And we are talking about Okinawa, which is very close to Taiwan. And if you want to go to Japan, it's probably your closest option. The flight from Taoyuan International Airport probably only takes an hour or two, and you can be there really quickly. But it might be strange to consider going there now. Most people might consider going there during the summer. It's a tropical paradise. You've got beaches and things there. Why would you want to go there in the winter? But we got some good reasons for that. Why would you want to go to Okinawa in the off-season?
Well, first of all, fewer crowds and cheaper prices. So that might be a good reason to go there. Maybe you're also just not the beach-type person, right? Some people don't really find a lot of entertainment in sitting on a hot beach on a hot day and getting sand down their back or something like that. And of course, it gives you a chance to also explore places that you might not go to during the summer. I mean, Okinawa World, which we learned about, sounds really interesting, but maybe on a hot day, walking around outside in this sort of recreated Okinawan village might not be appealing to you, but on a cooler day, it might be something you would definitely be interested in. So I think we're learning a lot about this. And also they mentioned the clearer skies in winter are great for stargazing. So a couple of things there that, again, might not be so appealing to you during the hot summer months when you're focused on surfing and snorkeling and scuba diving. You can go back 6 months later during the winter and do a whole bunch of new things, many new sightseeing opportunities. So let's find out about some more of them. We're going to go and find where the past meets the present at one of the most famous locations in Okinawa.
Where past meets present. Okinawa's capital, Naha, is filled with history. To experience just a taste of it, check out Shuri Castle, one of Okinawa's most recognizable landmarks. While much of the structure burned down in 2019, the reconstruction tours offered on the site make it well worth a visit. And if you're in town in late October, be sure to catch the Shuri Castle Festival, a celebration of Ryukyu traditions.
大家好，第一部分介绍名词 celebration， 表示庆祝活动、庆祝或是祝贺。例如 Eating cake is a major part of many celebrations. 吃蛋糕是许多庆祝活动的重头戏。或是 The country has a victory celebration every year in memory of the war. 该国每年都会举行胜利庆祝活动，以纪念那场战争。
Okay, so if you go to Okinawa, you will probably be going to the largest city there, Naha. It is Okinawa's capital, and it is filled with history. Okay, so it's a good place to check out. They probably got some old buildings there, and of course, the place has a lot of history that you could learn about, maybe in a local museum or something like that. And to experience just a taste of it, to get a little bit of a sample of it, check out Shuri Castle, one of Okinawa's most recognizable landmarks. Now, of course, as you know, when you travel to Japan, a popular activity is to go check out the various castles that they have in Japan. These are like forts that were built during feudal times when they were fighting other armies and things like that. And Okinawa has its own castle there in Naha, and it's called Shuri Castle, and it is a recognizable landmark. Okay, so a landmark is something that you can easily see, usually in a city, but it could be a natural formation as well. We could talk about landmark in Taipei being a Taipei 101 or whatever. There are various landmarks in the other cities in Taiwan as well. But again, you also have natural landmarks like Yushan here in Taiwan. That's a natural landmark.
Or Yaleo or something like that. Yeah, definitely. A place sightseeing tourists would definitely want to go to, take a picture of, be there, kind of experience how amazing it is. Either it's a huge place like Taipei 101 or a beautiful place like Taroko Gorge or somewhere like that. So definitely this. And if it's recognizable, that means probably even people who've never been there, if you show them a picture of it, they might have a good idea of what this is or make a good guess. The Leaning Tower of Pisa, the Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, these are very recognizable landmarks, even to people who have never actually been to those countries to see them. So Shuri Castle was definitely one of the top tourist attractions in Okinawa, but they had a bit of bad luck not too long long ago. It says, while much of the structure burned down in 2019, the reconstruction tours offered on the site make it well worth a visit. I was actually wondering about this. I was in Okinawa a few years before the castle burned down. I remember seeing it on the news and feeling quite sad about that. But it's good to know that they're doing the reconstruction, and it's also good to know that they're far enough along with the reconstruction. They've completed enough of it that they can now offer tours to people. So it's not just filled with workmen and machines and people actually doing the job of building it again. I guess they're nearing the end of the process, so they're bringing in tourists. You can actually understand how they're rebuilding it, understand the architecture and engineering a little bit more. So that could be really interesting, and maybe another 5 years in the future, go back again when it's all finished and done, and you can see how the project all turned out. So that's a great opportunity to see some of this work actually taking place. And if you're in town in late October, be sure to catch the Shuri Castle Festival, a celebration of Ryukyu traditions. Okay, so that might make you choose the date of your trip a little more carefully. Go in late October, go around Halloween time, for example, because that is when they have this Shuri Castle Festival, and it's a celebration of Ryukyu traditions. Ryukyu, of course, being that chain of islands that stretches off the south of Japan. Those are called the Ryukyus. So Okinawa is the biggest island in the Ryukyus. And this festival is a celebration of these local traditions. Festivals, of course, are often celebrations of something, because a celebration is just a time when a lot of people come together to sort of honor something, to spend time together, to enjoy something, in the same way that there will be Christmas celebrations, Christmas parties of various sizes and styles, birthday celebrations, birthday parties, depending on what you want, just in order to have fun on a special day and celebrate a special person or a time or a place or something like that. So maybe late October might be a good time to head over there. And while you're doing the Shuri Castle Festival, you might also want to check out some of the ceramics that we will be checking out in the second part of the article.
A ceramics wonderland. In a country famous for pottery, Okinawa stands out as the home of yachimun, ceramic pottery, a traditional style that dates back to the 17th century. Stop by Tsuboya, Okinawa's ceramics mecca, to explore this singular and beautiful craft. While you're there, you can even try your hand at it by participating in a few pottery making classes.
第二部分看到名词 Mecca， 意思是圣地或是令人向往的地方。例如 This once quiet town has become a Mecca for tourists. 这个沉寂一时的小镇成为旅游胜地。也可以说 Thailand has long been a Mecca for backpackers. 泰国长期以来一直是背包客的圣地。再来介绍形容词 singular， 表示独特的、奇特的或是显著的。可以说The child demonstrated a singular ability to solve complex math problems. 这个孩子表现出了解决复杂数学问题的独特能力。继续看到名词 craft， 指手工艺、技艺或是需要特别技艺的行业、工作。例如 My grandma sells crafts that she's made over the years. 我奶奶在贩售她多年来制作的工艺品。又或者说 As a skilled baker, Liam takes pride in his craft. 作为手艺精湛的烘焙师 Liam 对自己的工作感到自豪。
All right, the second part of our article for today talks about ceramics. Of course, here in Taiwan, Inge is famous for its ceramics. If you want to get some new pots or plates or something, that's a good place to go. But here in Okinawa, we're describing this place as a ceramics wonderland, or maybe a ceramics paradise. A great place to check out some ceramics. If you're into that sort of thing, you could look at them, or maybe you could actually buy some and take them home with you back here to Taiwan. Now, in a country famous for pottery, Okinawa stands out as the home of yachimun ceramic pottery, a traditional style that dates back to the 17th century. Okay, so we're describing Okinawa as standing out as the home of a special kind of pottery, something called yachimun. Basically, it's a local kind of pottery that you don't find anywhere else in the world, and it stands out as the home of this type of pottery. So So if something stands out, it is noticeable and it is famous for this thing. So it's the home of this kind of pottery. It's the place where you can find it.
Very cool. And then it says you can stop by Tsuboya, Okinawa's ceramics mecca, to explore this singular and beautiful craft. So I guess Tsuboya is sort of the Inga of Okinawa. That's the place to go. So this might be a smaller town or a smaller community on Okinawa. And this is the ceramics mecca of Okinawa. Very interesting. When we say mecca, this is basically the place to go if you like this thing. If you're interested in this thing, this is the place to go. This, of course, comes from the real place in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, where every Muslim, according to Islamic tradition, every Muslim person, if they can afford it and if they're able, must travel or should travel to Mecca, the sort of spiritual home of the Muslim religion, and they do their different ceremonies and rituals there. So that's a place of pilgrimage. It's a place where believers and followers will all travel to meet and to celebrate their traditions, their religion, their beliefs, and that kind of thing. But we've taken that idea, that place name, I should say, and used it just to talk about a place that is sort of the center of this activity in the world. So Paris is a fashion mecca. Hollywood is an entertainment or show business or movie making mecca. It's the place to go if you really enjoy movie making and movies and whatnot, in the same way that Paris is the place to go if you enjoy fashion and luxury brands and stuff like that. We could say Shilin Night Market is a street food mecca in Taiwan or in northern Taipei. It's a place to go. Lots of people go there, and you can find a lot of this activity or this whatever in that place. And so go to Tsuboya. It's the place to go in Okinawa for ceramics. You can probably find ceramics in other shops and other places, but this is the center of this activity, this industry, and you can explore this singular and beautiful craft. If something is singular, it's very unique. It's very special. It's kind of original. They make ceramics, of course, in many parts of the world, but not in this way. So the Okinawan style of yachimun is sort of found there, and it's very unique to that place, and that's the place to go. And it's a very beautiful craft. Of course, a craft meaning something that people make using their hands, using skill, using artistic techniques, and also traditional techniques. These are not factory-made plates that you buy cheaply at a store. These are beautiful handmade plates, hand-decorated, and they're very unique, lovely, and special, and best found in Tsuboya on Okinawa.
The word craft is often used together with the word arts and crafts, which we often hear a lot about things that are handmade by people, carvings, weaving, sewing, stuff like that. And of course, if you're into ceramics, this is a place to check out this beautiful craft, the craft of ceramics. And while you're there, you can even try your hand at it by participating in a few pottery making classes. So if you got the time and you don't mind getting a little dirty, you could actually try your hand at making some pottery. You'll probably get your own little wheel there, and you'll get a lob of clay or something like that, and you'll stick your hands into it and you'll form it into different sort of shapes, and then later they will fire it for you in a kiln, and then you'll have your finished product that you can take back home with you. And yes, you can do this by participating in a few pottery making classes. I believe similar classes are available at Inga here in Taiwan, but heck, it would be a very memorable experience to do this as part of your holiday in Okinawa during the winter. Okay, we're at the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's listen now to the third part.
Tasty winter eats. Thanks to Okinawa's warm climate, prime produce is available there all year round. Therefore, the prefecture's iconic dishes like agu pork and Okinawa soba are always at peak quality. And after an exciting afternoon spent exploring caves and castles, a delicious dinner featuring some of Okinawa's unique offerings might just be the perfect way to end your day.
第三部分我们看到形容词 prime 指的是最具代表性的，也可以是最好的或是主要的意思。举例来说 The hotel is a prime representative of creative architecture in this area. 该饭店是这地区最具代表性的创意建筑。又或者说 The campsite was a prime location for watching wildlife. 这个营地是观察野生动物的最好地点。最后看到名词 offering， 它表示提供的事物、出售品或是祭品。我们可以说 The Italian restaurant has some delicious pasta offerings. 该意大利餐厅提供一些美味的意大利面食。也可以说 There weren't many offerings left in the vending machine. 贩卖机里已经没有多少产品了。
All right, so we are back with the third and final part of our look at Okinawa during the off-season. This is something I've actually never thought about, but after reading our article over the last 2 days, I'm starting to think, yeah, maybe Okinawa during the winter wouldn't be so bad. It would actually be kind of an interesting time to go to check out some of the things that you might not spend time on when the weather is lovely in the summer. Here's something great after all of this pottery making and castle watching and the different things that we've done there. We're looking at poisonous snakes in Okinawa world. Tasty winter eats. Absolutely. You want to have some tasty food after you've been doing all your busy tourist activities. So let's find out what kind of food we could enjoy there during the winter time. Thanks to Okinawa's warm climate, prime produce is available there all year round. So it is a warmer place compared to parts of Japan, which of course could get feet or meters of snow during the winter. They don't get snow, so they can basically grow food there all the time. And of course, they also have great seafood in the waters around the island. So it is prime produce that's available there all year round. If something is prime, when we describe it this way, it's first class, it's top quality, it's some of the best produce, all right? So the fruit and vegetable will be beautiful and healthy and flavorful and filled with vitamins. It's really in good shape, most of this stuff, and most of it is local, and it's available there all year round. All 12 months of the year, there's no sort of winter season when farmers stop working because the weather is nice and warm. They can grow good food all year round, which sounds great.
It does sound great. And of course, as you know, lots of old people live in Okinawa. They have longevity there. And I am sure lots of those elderly people are still actively involved in agriculture. And that food will be very tasty as a result. Imagine the kind of experience they have in producing that kind of food. So here we've got some iconic dishes, therefore, as a result of that prime produce. The prefecture of Okinawa has iconic dishes such as agu pork and Okinawa soba. They're always at peak quality. So yes, indeed, when you travel to Okinawa, you want to check out the food there. And if you like pork, meat from a pig, you can have agu pork. It's a kind of pork there that is unique to Okinawa. It's very special. And we've got soba there, which is noodles that are made with buckwheat flour. And that's a special kind of soba that is available in Okinawa. And they're always at peak quality. It's at the highest kind of quality you can expect, and you probably can get some decent food at reasonable prices.
Yes, absolutely you could, and that would be a very good thing to eat after your busy day of being a tourist. Soba noodles are wonderfully delicious. They come in a nice soup broth, and having it with some delicious local pork sounds great. And after an exciting afternoon spent exploring caves and castles, a delicious dinner featuring some of Okinawa's unique offerings might just be the perfect way to end your day. I would take the might out of that sentence. It sounds like the perfect way to end my day with these unique offerings, these very interesting foods that they have there, both fresh and maybe unusual in other parts of Japan. So this kind of Okinawan style cuisine, you might find it in other places, but of course it's best found where it comes from. These offerings, an offering is basically just something that is there for people to use or to take advantage of or to enjoy if they want to. It's being offered. It could be a gift, it could be a contribution, or it could just be something I've made and hey, do you want to have that? You can have it if you go to a buffet. But a lot of people like that because there'll be many offerings of different styles and types of food. You can have it if you want, or you can choose to give it a pass. But these things are there for tourists and locals to enjoy. So I think that sounds, like the perfect way to end our day in Okinawa during the winter.
Yes, there are lots of things to enjoy and see there in Okinawa, so don't waste time and head down and talk to your travel agent right away. There's still time to book tickets for a plane and for a nice hotel. That brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Here comes Hanny.
各 位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第一部分介绍了首里城这个景点，他提到虽然大部分的建筑物在2019年被烧毁，但该地提供的重建工程导览使其非常值得一游。文中是用 well worth a visit 来表达非常值得一游。那我们来整理一下 worth 的常见用法。worth 它可以表达价值什么什么，或者是值得什么什么的。那首先第一种用法，我们用 worth 来表达值多少钱的，那这时候用法会是 be worth 加上金额。例如 The vase is worth $50,000， 那只花瓶价值5万美元。那第二个我们可以用 worth 来表达值得什么什么的，那用法会是 be worth 加上名词或动名词。例如 The book is well worth a read， 那本书值得一读。那这时候我们用到 well 是副词，用来强调 worth。 再看一个例句是 The night market is worth checking out， 那个夜市值得去看看。好，我们再看到另外课文句子里面用到 while 当连接词去表达虽然怎么样怎么样。然后在课文第二部分有一句则提到 While you're there, you can 什么什么，就是当你在那里的时候，你可以怎么样怎么样。那这时候这个 while 是用来表达当什么什么时。好，我们这边就整理一下 while 当连接词的不同意思。好，第一个我们可以用 while 表达虽然尽管，这时候意思就跟 though 或是 although 意思一样，用来引导让步副词子句。举例来说 While the car is old, it's still in good condition。 尽管这辆车子旧了，但它的车况还是很好。第二个我们可以用 while 去表达 during the time that， 也就是在什么期间与什么同时，那可以用来引导时间副词子句。例如 It started to rain while we were waiting for the bus， 在我们等公车的时候开始下雨了。好，那补充一下 while 当这个意思来解释时，如果连接的两个子句主词一样，我们就可以省略掉 while 后方的主词，然后把动词改成分词。动词是主动，就是用现在分词 VING， 被动就是保留过去分词 PP， 所以就会被简化成 while 加上分词 VING 或 PP 的形式了。举例来说 Tim dropped his phone while getting out of the taxi。 Tim 下计程车的时候手机掉了。好，那第三个我们可以用 while 来表达然而，那这时候是用来连接两个对比或者是不同的陈述，意思就相当于 whereas。 好，举例来说 While Ryan likes to travel with his friends, his brother prefers to travel alone。 Ryan 喜欢跟朋友一起旅行，而他的哥哥喜欢独自旅行。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Landmark. The Statue of Liberty is a well-known landmark in New York. Celebration. The town held a big celebration for its 100th anniversary. Singular. Simone has a singular talent for playing the violin. Craft. The craft fair showcased handmade jewelry and pottery. Prime. The chef used prime ingredients for the special dish. Offering. The new product is the company's latest offering in the tech market.
Discussion Starter starts now!
It's time for our discussion starter, and the question is, would you rather visit Okinawa in winter than in summer? Why or why not?
Yes, I think I'd rather visit in the off-season since there are many things to do that probably wouldn't catch my attention if I was there during the hot summer season. And of course, the beach is very attractive. I think the idea of going to Okinawa World and trying out some of their food, a lot of these delicious dishes might be very, very appealing.
Well, it does sound attractive to go there in the winter, but I'd prefer to visit Okinawa in the summer, considering that the summer in Taiwan is really brutally hot, and maybe Okinawa would be cooler in that regard.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of our program, and please make sure you join us again next time. From all of us here, I am Mike.
I am Roger. See you next time.